From Aider Baits Fishing Guide Service, here's Pete Leonard with your Tackle HD Crappie Fishing Report for Table Rock Lake.
Hey guys, this is Pete Leonard with Aider Baits Guide Service doing your Tackle HD Crappie update for Table Rock Lake. I was out this week. Water's between 54 and 57, so I ran a lot of the stuff that I would run in the spring when that water's the same temperature. That temperature is usually a couple degrees shy of when they go to the bank to start spawning. I look for 58 to 60 degree water to start going to the bank, throwing up on the bank to catch crappie spawning. So this is just a little bit shy of that. So I run all the same brush structure that I would run in the springtime when the water's the same temperature and the fish are there. Most of the time, every structure you catch them on in the spring, you can reproduce that in the fall when the water's the same temperature. So what I was looking for was anything from 15 feet to 20 feet off the bank in that depth of water. And the fish were between 7 and 12 feet down. So they were above the brush, the structure, whatever I was fishing, they were above it 3, 4, 5 feet. A really good bait to use to catch those fish is a slip bobber with a live minnow. A lot of guys don't like to use minnows. I personally like to catch crappie, and sometimes you have to use a minnow. The minnow will stay in the strike zone longer than a plastic will. You don't want to get too close to these fish. You know, you don't want to sit right on top of them. We got a clear lake. They can feel the vibration of the trolling motor when your spot lock's on. I like to stay 15 to 20 feet away from that school. So the slip bobber allows me to keep that minnow in the strike zone longer. If I pull up on a school and they're 15 feet away out in front of the boat, I can pitch that slip bobber out there 15 feet, watch it on my active target go down, and that minnow is going to stay right there with that school. I usually put the bobber stop to where it's keeping the minnow about a foot to 2 feet above the school. It seemed to get a lot more bites that way. If your minnow's too deep, right on the top of the school or right in the middle of the school, a lot of times it won't work. Those fish, crappie, feed up. They want to see what they're going to hit above them and then go hit it. So I always start at 2 feet, and if they're acting crabby or whatever, not wanting to bite, I'll lower it down to about a foot above them. Another bait that I like to use is a swimming minnow. It's a 2-inch swimming minnow with a little paddle tail that Aider Baits I make, and I'll set up the same way, 15, 20 feet away from the school. I'll throw past the school, and I'll watch on my forward-facing sonar, whether you have Lowrance Active Target, Garmin Live Scope, or Humminbird Mega Live. Doesn't matter. You want to throw past that school and watch your bait. You want to keep that bait in the same foot to 2 foot above the school and swim it over them. That's how I approach a school right off the bat. When I pull up to a school, the first thing I do is grab that minnow or grab a action bait just to catch those fish that are feeding, that want to be active. And then once I catch those and I go a few minutes without a bite on that, I'll pull out the slip bobber, put that minnow there. It stays there. It stays right there on them. And those fish are constantly seeing that minnow. And eventually they'll start competing for that minnow, which is what you want to see. And you'll start catching them that way. As you go towards Main Lake, towards the dam area, the deeper the fish are. And a lot of the fish that I caught towards Main Lake or even on Main Lake weren't necessarily on structure. They were, or on trees. They were on structure. It was the end of channel swing docks. So that's what I'm looking for on Main Lake is channel swing docks, cables, boat lifts, anything like that. Use your forward-facing sonar to scan under the dock, and you'll be able to find those fish and set up on them the same way. If you guys are in Branson area and you're wanting to get out on the lake, give me a call at Aider Baits Guide Service, and I'd be happy to get you out on the water.
Before your next crappie fishing adventure, visit TackleHD.com. Click on the Pro Striker Baits logo at the top of the page and find everything you need to catch your next limit of crappie. grubs, and baby shad in a huge variety of colors, all made right here in Missouri. That's Pro Striker Baits, available right now at TackleHD.com.